I'm really intrigued by
Hmm.
the sort of insurance side of that, or the sort of risk side, like walking the line of creating these really unique experiences, and making space for the adventure and the challenge and all that. It also makes space for things to go wrong. I mean, that's part of what tests the people that are going, right? So,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
have you had a situation where it went the wrong way, where it like completely blew up in your face?
Touch wood, and I'm holding the biggest table I can find at the moment. Touch wood, we haven't yet, but we don't want to base any of it on that sort of thing at all. You know, the operations that we work with on the ground are usually people that I've had some experience with personally myself, so I've known them from a private level, and then I've posed the question of, look, I know you do this. How about we go and do this? And it is up to we are, and in some way, we come back to being the conduit rather than being the person who is actually at the coal face, the operator on the ground that's got to have the correct safety gear, the correct number of guides and first aiders. They are the ones that are still they're working within 120% of their normal capacity, but below the 150% they're capable of. So they know they can go and do these adventures, but they don't have a market that they can create the product for. If we come to them with the product and the market rather, and say, look, we know you can do this because we've seen you do 95% of it. Can we go and do this? They are the ones that start the conversation with their insurance companies. They are the ones that then get their cover up because we're going to bring consistent clients to them. And we still have to have our public liability is still up there in the $6,000 to $8,000 a year to be able to cover off some of these trips. Because as soon as you start looking at hazardous activities, you start to increase your premium hugely. Now, to do one-offs of hazardous activities is a much better way of doing it than trying to cover yourself for a whole year. So if we were to say we were doing hazardous activities on every adventure of the same capacity, the premium would skyrocket. But to go and do the Arctic Circle, we'll always go and find a dog sled operator that takes 20, 30 trips in the course of a week with dog sleds. We're going to use them. We're going to use their skill set. They want to go and do different adventures because it opens their product range up potentially in the future. And they've got all the skills and the cover and everything to make those happen. We also make sure that everybody that comes on these trips, there is a big process of training that leads up to going on these. So we don't want, Jack Hobbs just turning up on the first day going, okay, so what are we doing tomorrow? We want to make sure that every single client has fully briefed, trained, and prepared to get themselves even to the start of the trip. That's part of the adventure. And there's a heck of a lot. I mean, the legal wranglings in Australia are huge, but to go and get waiver signed by operator, waiver signed by us, waiver signed by X, Y, and Z is a huge part of it. And a lot of our stuff, because we're dealing with extreme temperatures or we're doing high altitude, a lot of that comes down to the person themselves having sign off from their doctor that they're going to be capable of going and doing all this sort of stuff. So there's a lot of pre-work in the background, and that's why Yuli is really useful because of all of the times that we can line up the list of tasks that they need to go and do to ensure that they come there, and all of that is in part of the terms and conditions. So if you come on this trip, you need to have ticked every single box on that task list and gone through it with a fine-tooth comb to ensure that you are ready to come on one of these adventures.